just looking down the driveway, I can see a lot of extra growth. And we've got some beautiful overhanging foliage that'll be great to prune and add to soil fertility. Lots of cats here coming to greet me. And our sea purslane here is covering the rock wall and it's thriving. And we've got plenty of that we can chop out and transplant, or just add as nice juicy mulch. I can see lucina, one in full seed here and one not in seed, but all producing great organic matter. There's lucina everywhere. As usual, it's performing to give us lots and lots of organic matter, super fast carbon pathway. And I can see just through there I can see grapefruit. Citrus are always a bit hard in such a difficult site like this. But I can see at least 3 grapefruit on that young grapefruit there. And that's a really nice sign. When I left, this area was bare of foliage. There was all lucina were cut down, so there was no foliage. They were just pollarded high stumps. And now massive amounts of organic matter to return to the soil. And it looks like we've lost a fig here. There's going to be casualties, of course. This is an extremely hardy site. But generally that area there is looking amazing as far as organic matter, and we'll be able to add to the soil fertility. So I'm going to walk around the perimeter first. And yeah, cotton. Look at the cotton. It's funny. It looks like cotton wool. It is cotton wool actually. So cotton grows quite well here, and it doesn't look like it's too stressed from the summer. Look, moringa is absolutely full of seed here, and very little foliage, but it's going to bounce back now. Looks good. And behind the Albizia lebec, 2 Albizia lebecs are thriving with their high foliage prune, shading our garden. Papaya definitely looks a bit stressed, but still alive. Okay, let's go on round. Sea purslane is extended beautifully. Our kitchen garden, our home garden, is more or less empty. A few chilies, but now's the time we're going to plant. It's going to be up and away. Cats having fun. There's cat scratches all over these trees, but that's all right. Give them a bit of exercise. Yeah. Sea purslane is just starting to creep over everything, which is great. It's what we want. We want that gel ground cover reducing evaporation. Everything's anti-evaporation in strategy initially. Rock walls are getting completely covered. Those are rock wall earthback swales, hardly recognisable because of the sea purslane. Just love this plant, almost as much as lucina. And they're a great partnership. So olive looking fine, absolutely thriving, doesn't worry about temperatures. Citrus, again, not so good, not so great. Actually looks quite dead, that one. Anyway, we'll see. And here's Sesbania grandiflora. Looks like it's going to make it. Beautiful legume flower, that one. And in the ground here, coming up, is one of the old prosopis, still giving them a flogging every now and again and knocking it back and abusing the regrowth. But that's what pioneered the site originally. We don't need it anymore. And yeah, citrus casualty here again. We've had a very hard summer. And carob is flowering. Carob pods are going to come booming out of there. Some of the dates are still here, still dates to pick. It's good. More prosopis, a little bit of prosopis regen. Takes a bit of knocking back, and it'll go if I keep abusing it. And then on we go, up through the top of the site. This is hard up here. It's the harder part of the site. Lucina, thriving, coming back, giving us lots of organic matter. We'll get that on the ground pretty soon. Yeah, I can tell by some of the losses we've had, it's been pretty hard this year. This summer's been a very heavy, high temperature summer. Little carrot there. Another citrus here, pretty stressed. Trying to produce one or two little citrus. Trying hard. Guava, looking a bit stressed. As we get more and more sea purslane across everything on the top of the site, it'll be better. Yeah, this top area really needs a bit of love. It's looking a bit hard up here. As the nutrient goes downhill, with it you get more and more fertility. So there's little lines of foliage coming more and more everywhere. So this is a two-story mud brick building, which is accommodation. So pretty special, this one. Two-story mud brick, very nice. Every room's got an ensuite, and it's a nice, cool building to be in. So coming down this side, which is shaded by the front wall, wow, the lucina there is absolutely massive for the size and time it's had to produce that. And Sesbania again, Sesbania grandiflora. There's one or two around. They're not super rampant, but they are very beautiful as well as being a legume. And this side we've got a bit of extra shade, and that's what helps. So it's good looking citrus right there. More olives. We've got Singapore daisy ground cover there. That's great. Hardly keeps up with the sea purslane, but it is thriving in this section. There's another patch here. Need these ground covers. And a lemon there fruiting quite well. Again, shade. Big difference is shade. There's an Albizia Lebec going over the top of the wall. There's two date palms. The wall itself is shade, the front wall, and we've got a bit of lucina. Now you just notice what works after a while. Pomegranate going quite well here. Hibiscus tiliaceus, not a legume, but a great mulch producer. Very hardy, doesn't mind alkaline conditions. Got a couple of these. Can definitely get a lot of organic matter off them. Another citrus, another guava. And we're coming down towards the bottom here, or the midsection, should I say. Yeah, and it definitely looks like we're coming to the end of summer. It's pretty tough looking scene, but we've got plenty to work with and plenty to teach from. That's the important thing. People need to know what to emphasize. And there's an Ackee apple, always hardy, the old South African Ackee apple. No stopping them. High pruned Albizia Lebec again. Our main vegetable garden at the bottom, pretty empty, but our nursery looking good. Still got quite a bit in the nursery to transplant out. Yep, always nice and efficient, the nursery. And the bottom here, very little in the vegetable garden. Just kicking back in now as temperatures start to fall. Our little pots are going well. We've got these ornamental pots with super hardy cactus and succulents. Volunteer lucina, partnered with a prosopis, which is our initial pioneering tree. There's residual seeds, I suppose, everywhere. And hey, pretty nice date here. Yeah, quite a bit of fruit still on the date. Lovely stuff. Yeah, go try one. That's good. All right. Let's go on round. Foliage looks nice. Temperatures are cooling. Back run the hardware. Another date. Still got plenty of fruit on to harvest. A couple of nice papayas coming out of the worm farm gardens. Not a bad way to go. And here we are down behind the cafe. Nice little gardens. Lots of volunteer lucina and regrowth. This old lucina here has always produced well, and she's done it again, giving us lots of organic matter. Oh, one of our little succulent pots. What a funny combination that is. Purple leaf sweet potato, Brazilian spinach, mothers of millions, mother-in-law's plant. There's a few mothers involved in the names there. Okay. Chatoot mulberry, looking highly stressed, but looks like she's going to come through. Love this mulberry. It's such a tasty little mulberry, that one. And oh, look at this! What a treat! We've got a cactus flowering. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that thing! Amazing. Thank you for that treat. That's really sweet. Beautiful, beautiful. A gift of beauty there. Lucina. That one's flowering heavily, or seeding heavily, providing us some propagation material. Another little succulent pot, again with Brazil cherry. I keep saying it, Brazil spinach. I better get the Latin name out there. Antheria sisu, grows from cuttings, endless perennial spinach. But a nice little example of hardy succulents just for some potted beauty to be around. All right, let's see if the door's open and I can get out of this way. Yay, I can escape to the street. All right, different scene out here. There's Abler's garden, now Thousands garden. I can look at, see that's nice and green coming over the wall across the road from us. Beautiful. And our street side cafe gardens, which are definitely eclectic and unusual. We've got a lot of lucina to chop out and shape up the gardens back into the mostly ornamentals. Here's our cafe, organic cafe. What a beautiful thing. It's very, very special. And it would fit in anywhere. Paris, New York, London. The decoration in there is quite unusual. Why not? And then up on the top floor there, we have an organic restaurant, which is another very special part of the project. Now, see purslane raging over the wall, and this is one of my favorite little examples here. This is my streetscape garden, caged from the goats, because you have to get a really good result. Sea purslane and Singapore daisy in the floor, ground cover, and euphorbia bush as another gel plant, but a bush, not a ground cover. And then Poinciana, oh my goodness, it looks great. And Caliandra and white cedar and Australian bottle brush and a jacaranda, Poinciana, white cedar, and it's all thriving. End of summer, looking fantastic, looking great. Just because that assembly of plants uses less water than just trees. Add this assembly and the trees don't need as much water because of the great reduction in evaporation. And it's a testament. There it is, sitting right out. My brother-in-law next door has planted trees without much protection at all. Well, without any. And they're in quite a different condition. They get the same amount of water as these trees, but I'm trying to show, plant the right assembly and you need less water. So, in through the next entrance here, into the driveway, and let's have a look how it looks on this driveway entrance. Here's Darren's house. Looks like he's lost a mango out the front. Oh well. The bottle brush here, which grows where I live in Australia, is just loving it. It's behind the shade of the wall. Let's go and find. It's getting an extra treat. Then let's just have a look through here. area that needs cleaning up, but there's a reed bed, and it's just sort of disappeared underneath foliage. This is the reed bed for the cafe. You can hardly see the reeds because the trees are all over the top of it. What a lovely thing. Right in front of me was an experimental banana circle. Just couldn't take it, couldn't take the heat, and our lack of water. We don't have enough water to keep them alive, but I'll get there one day. Yes, this old girl. She comes here regularly to have puppies. We're such a safe destination. Another lovely palm, date palm. This is probably a seedling, but it's fruiting late, which is good for us. That's great. All right. Tree I haven't mentioned here before, Sesbania sesbans. It's a gorgeous thing. It's super, super fast. And only lives for about 7 years, but it just flies out of the ground. You can plant by seed, it's so quick. You don't have to worry about any care. I'll dodge these beehives and get over the top here. This area here, we've done a bit of work bringing it into function, adding lots of extra support species. There's a young Albizia back here, going to take the canopy one day, sooner or later. Sesbania sesbans, and quite a bit of stressed citrus this time of year, but everything's going to get better now for the next 6 months. Nice organic matter on the ground, added extra straw. We need more sea purslane, but it is coming. It's creeping across there. And here, nice one. There's an aloe vera ground cover under a citrus. It's fruiting okay, consider it. On we go through the system. The veggie bed next door is a poultry pen at the moment because we're preparing the plant. Another film going down there later. Won't go back into that system. Let's go on through the food forest here. Beehives. We have lots of beehives through the system. And here we have the ground covers again. Ground covers are working. Beautiful. Nice. There's more citrus here. They're coming. These ones are coming good. Oranges, mandarins, grapefruit. Mulberry here. Another mulberry I love. Love this mulberry. It just fruits really well. Looks good. Everything looks good here. Citrus is looking a lot better in the lower section. Just the nutrient drips downhill. Everything drips downhill, really. Okay. Nice olive. A little bit more open in this section. Ground covers. Looking good. Looks like we've lost a custard apple here. Oh well, it was always a bit questionable, custard apples here when we get dry summers. And on the outside of our natural swimming pool, this date, I love this date, it's great. I think it's a seedling, I'm not sure it's a true variety, but it just produces. I have to get up there with a ladder and get some of these down. There's a lot already falling onto the ground, look. We'll get those back to a compost. I'm nearly full circuit. Some empty holes here to plant. Get some more trees in here. There's more citrus coming towards winter. When the citrus thrive. Coming good. Up into our chicken pen. Back corner. Here we are. And the citrus looking quite good. Compost getting ready to be made. I'll be turning that one. Plenty of manure to hold on to. And here are our chickens. Collect some eggs for breakfast in a minute, as usual. And I'll find something to pick in the garden for a fresh breakfast. Now, let's just walk it through. Nearly there. Hey, natural swimming pool. And lots of kangkong. I can eat some of that for breakfast with some eggs. Right, so we've got some kangkong, fresh dates, Brazil spinach, and probably plenty more if I start looking. So our natural swimming pool's going okay. Right, now, well-fenced pool to keep the kids out. Here's the back terrace that's a little bit more subtropical. And the mulberry's actually flying up there. And the moringa is seeding. And the ground cover's prolific. I've got to go in. I've got to go in. This is Singapore daisy and sea purslane mix on the ground. Cutleaf mulberries really big above me, mixing with moringa. And there's a little bit of a defined track. Figs are going okay. And I want to visit this girl at the back corner. It's another mulberry. And uh-oh, here she is. Bit of a pride and joy, this one. This is a mango. This is the best mango on site. I think it's the best position we've hit. Nice little corner, protected in summer from a bit of extra shade, and a nice sun trap in winter in the opposite way. So I'll leave you there, and we'll get into a few more tours later. But that's my first morning in Jordan, ad-lib, straight off the camera. You can't have it more raw than that. Great bringing it to you. I'm off on a consultancy this morning, and I'll do a bit of filming out there. Different scene, very different scene. So, live reporting from the front line. I know. I'll bring more of it to you. Thanks.